Hi, this is Keith with CampWorks coming to you from sunny and beautiful St. George, Utah. My wife Carrie and I have been traveling this winter to warmer climates, working remotely and meeting many of our customers. It has been a truly awesome experience to get to meet many of you and to develop close working relationships and in many cases, friendships. I'm truly thankful and grateful to God for the talents that He has given me to be able to develop the CampWorks business and to meet and develop relationships with so many of you. We truly love what we do, and I hope that passion comes through in the products and services that we provide. Today marks a monumental day, and I couldn't be more excited to announce to you our newest product, CampWorks Connect. CampWorks Connect is a smartphone app that we've been developing for the last couple of years, and it is so exciting to finally see our vision come to fruition. It's not quite ready to go yet, but will be soon. But today we're going to give you a preview and show you all of the new capabilities that this smartphone app can deliver. CampWorks Connect, as the name implies, is really meant to connect you to your guests, to your staff, and to the local community, as well as tie together the various systems. Between online reservations, your desktop software, and the new mobile app, your guests will experience a type of hospitality that they've never experienced before. Before I dive into the demo of CampWorks Connect, I'd like to spend just a couple minutes going through the overall CampWorks system design for you. And we operate on a principle of the right technology for the right task. And what I mean by that is, let's take this box over on the left, this dotted line. This is your office, and for some of you, you may only have one PC, but this is a typical office. You may have the desktop software on multiple PCs at the front desk. You might have a point of sale system using our point of sale module, and you may have a roaming Windows tablet system and a back office PC. And all of this is running our Windows-based CampWorks desktop software. We use a Windows-based software approach because it has significant advantages in performance and capability over a typical web-based system. Most of what you do each day in interaction with the software and with the database, there's no need for it to be stored on a web server or on a web environment. And because of that, basically a web system, every time you click a button, search for some information, it has to go up to the web. And if there is any sort of speed issue at all with the web-based connection, it will slow down your operation. And so that is the main reason why we believe a local approach is a better approach. The main advantage of having a web-based system is that you can access it from anywhere. But we have a solution for that, and it's a very good solution. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people each day telecommute using remote connectivity software. So it's a very common known system. Google makes a very good system. It's a free system called Google Remote Desktop, and that's what many of our current customers use. And using that system, they essentially are able to log in from anywhere, control their PC at the office as if they are sitting at the office. So it gives them better capability, gives basically using the full Windows-based software versus a web-based system. And there is no penalty for the office in having it on the cloud and having any delays for having to access through a slower system. And of course, then you do not have the potential issue of an internet outage causing your entire system to go down. So that's one of the key advantages. Of course, the other thing that you might hear from a web-based solution provider is that you don't have to worry about losing your data with a PC crash. Well, we have solutions for that as well. We have online backup. The software can back the database up regularly to the cloud onto our secure servers, and so that your data is safe. So those become non-issues. So we just approach the problem in what we believe to be a superior way that provides better performance in having the data stored locally, and have the online user for an online reservation access the data as necessary. So we've developed proprietary systems that enable both our CampWorks Connect app and our online reservation system to get real-time data directly from your PC as it sits in your office on an as-needed basis. And we'll demo that through the CampWorks Connect demo. You'll see it both with the online reservations and CampWorks Connect, how seamless and fast that works. And stay tuned. At the end of this video, we'll do a short demonstration on the remote desktop application to show you just how easy it is to access your data and your software from any location. And now for the good part. This is the demo of CampWorks Connect. On this screen you will see the home screen. One of the first things that you will notice is that there is no branding of CampWorks Connect anywhere to be seen. And that is because we want your brand to be the main brand that your guests see. We want them to be impressed that you have your own app, and you guys take all the credit for it, essentially. So let's dissect this home screen first. The top section is all about you. There are several sections, including About Us, Rates, Amenities, Policies, Map, Open Dates and Hours. And so let's just take a look at any of those so you can click onto it to get all of the detail. Everything that you see here is editable by you. We've put together an example app. We have the framework and the menu systems and everything built up, but you control the content, the pictures, the text, the links, etc. And that's all done with a very simple web-based editor that makes it very easy to use. So first section, About Us. Next section, Rates, so you can have all of your winter, summer specials, all that, those kind of rates. Third part in About Us is Amenities and Activities. So this is designated specifically for things that you have on site. Then the next one is Policies. Definitely recommend you use this section. You may have different procedures or things that they need to know about check-in, check-out, cancellation policies, pets, all that kind of stuff. So this is where that type of information would go. The next section is the map. In a smartphone they'd be able to click on this. I can click on it now, but it's not as impressive as it would be in a smartphone. They can pinch zoom and see all the details about the campgrounds. And then the last section is your office hours, store hours, whatever you want to put in here. You may have different things that you want in that section. Okay, so that whole top section really just about you. The next portion of the main screen is things to do. And so let's start with this first one. We've put in 3 placeholders. You can adjust these as you see fit. Outdoor activities would be a common one, as you're an outdoor hospitality type business. Again, you would change all the content that goes in here, but this would be all the recommendations of what your guests need to do while they're in the area, things they might enjoy. This next one is an example of a feature. Maybe you have a national park in the area that you would want to advertise. You guys are the pillar or the draw for the community. People are coming to stay with you, and they'll rely on you on what to do and recommendations, and so the app can help guide that for them. Therefore, it's in their pocket. The nice thing about an app versus paper is they pretty much always have it with them. And so we have, for example, this bike trail that's a 60-mile paved trail that goes through our town, and that makes it a nice little thing that we want to advertise, that hey, it's something you can do in the area. Dining, another example of where you can do recommendations, but in this case there may also be featured advertisements. And one of the key things that we want out of the app and the business partnership that we want to develop with you is we want to make this essentially a free app for you, but we want your help in knowing who to contact for advertising. If we can get enough advertising, and this is an example of an advertisement, that then the app can be free for you, and maybe even we could do a revenue share if the advertising dollars get large enough. But examples might be a link to their website, link to map and directions, where they can click on see the route and it'll navigate directly to them. Actually in the phone it would go to the navigation in the phone. So let me close that, go back to here. Alright, so that's an example of some dining recommendations and advertising opportunities. Notice this bottom banner ad is a rotating banner ad. That's another advertising opportunity as well. The advertising can be very inexpensive, and it's better than static advertising on a printed map because it does the navigation and live directions, and we can change it frequently. If they want to change it every month, it can be changed. Another potential section is the blog. The blog is, and you can decide to use it or not, but one example of, you may have a welcome that you just describe more information that's in the about. It's supplementary reading for them. But an example of these, maybe you want to advertise the beauty of different times of the year so that they will want to come back in that time of the year and make another reservation with you. So here's one on fall colors. Or you may want to talk about a specific event in the blog, maybe how cool it was last year at a certain, maybe a balloon festival or something that was going on in the area, and so that again would draw them to come back at a different time of the year. Which brings us to the event calendar. The event calendar can be local events, or it can be events that you have on site. So let's click into this to go into a little bit more detail. And then any one of these events they can click on and get to the detail about that event, the location and time frame, see the route, all those details. Let's go back to the main screen. And then the last area is the area map. The area map can list, again, points of interest that you put in, or it can also be advertisers. So this is another advertiser option. If they click on the map, they see the details. They click on any one of these, they can get the details, the phone number, see the route, again, navigation directions, etc. So that's basically the map function. And then if we go back to the home screen one more time, the bottom section is share with us. So that's an opportunity for your guest to post a picture to share with you, post a video, any text, whatever. And in that, then it's your responsibility once you receive it to contact them and say, thank you, hey, this is an awesome picture, can we use this in our marketing, and get permission to use it. And that's pretty much the basics of the home screen. Now let's go into the menu. A couple of other key areas for your guests, and that we'll come back to. They can get to a shortcut to any of the sections by clicking on these areas. But another cool one that's also an advertising opportunity is local savings. By going into that, they can see coupons that advertisers have put in here. So let's say this one, for example, they would pull this up on their phone when they are at the establishment, at Main Street Sports Bar in this case, and then to their server they would click the redeem button, and that would disable that. Basically they would redeem the coupon, and then they wouldn't be allowed to use it again if the coupon's a one-time use or once per visit, for example. So that's just an example of another advertising opportunity with coupons. And that's pretty much the main areas for the guest. Now let's go into probably the coolest part, which is also for the guest, and that's how it interacts with CampWorks. Everything else that you've seen to this point could just be a standalone app, but we want to do much more than it just be a standalone app. We want to tie it all together with the online reservations and also with the reservation system in your office. So with the CampWorks desktop system. So now when they go into this, they have the opportunity to book a reservation, to view change reservations, to do a airport style remote check-in, check-out, and we'll talk about this at the end too. So let's start by booking a reservation. This uses the same connectivity that we developed for the online reservation system that is currently in use today. So through this they can select a check-in, time frame, the unit that they're bringing, say that they're not a robot, search for availability, and right what it just did at that point is it went back to our PC office, just sitting in an office in Minnesota. It got all of the available sites and came back that quickly. So I think that was less than a second. So they'd pick a site, put in the number of adults, and get their rates. And right now it's contacting that same PC, getting the master PC, getting the information. So here's all the information about their booking. And if they've ever filled out the form before, it's all stored, so they don't have to re-enter everything. They hit continue and pay to review the information. Note they have a timer counting down how long before it expires that they need to complete the booking. They put in their information and make the payment. We'll submit it, make the payment. Okay, so now it says here's their confirmation number or the reservation number. Now on the CampWorks side, that reservation has been created, it's flashing, and your office will confirm that that reservation is complete. Or send them the confirmation letter. Now let's go back and look at the next key function in My Reservations. They can view any of their existing reservations, and this is all tied by the account that they've created. If I go back here, and their email address. So by using their email address, they have to create an account, and then it links their email address to any reservations that are also under that email address. So now let's check this one. Let's view this reservation. They can click on it. It just pulled up all of their reservation details from the Office PC. Here it is. They can now make a payment, request a change, or get a receipt emailed to them. But let's do something even cooler. Let's do a remote check-in. If you want to enable this, your guests could check in after hours, and you do not have to have a camp host or a camper or an employee go get them checked in. They could get it all done essentially here. And they click on check-in. It pulls up all the reservations that they have available for the day due to check-in. Now they enter their vehicle information. And since I've entered these before, they're already on a pick list. So again, if they're doing it more than once, it'll be fast for them. They put in their estimated time of arrival, which it will put on the reservation. So now it's pulled up the details of their reservation. They validate all of this. If there was a balance due, this would say pay and check in, so they would have to pay the balance due before they could check in. Then they press check in, and it now is checking them into the software in CampWorks. It comes back, says their check-in is complete, tells them what site they're on, and what so here's the site and what type of site it is. And if they need directions, they can click on this, and it will navigate them to your business, to your campground or RV park. Or if they want to see the site map to find out where Site 21 is, they can click on this link, and now they get the site map, and they can zoom in and find 21 and know how to get there. Okay, so that's the basics of check-in. Check-out is very similar. Really a courtesy for you to let you know. We have been testing, put a bunch of reservations in here. Normally they would probably just have one reservation to check out, but this, they pretty much just select the reservation. They can get more details by clicking that drop down, for example. But they select the reservation, they hit continue to review the reservation and pay. If there's a balance due, they would have to pay that balance before they could check out, and then hit the checkout button, and it will check them out and thank them for their stay. Alright, and then the last and maybe one really cool feature is the important stay info. So this is only available to them while they're checked in. And when they click on this and go into it, it is pretty much your welcome package. Anything that you would normally give them when they check in. So things like the Wi-Fi codes, the bathroom codes, gate entry codes, channel lineup. You control all this. You put in what text and information that you want to give them, and then they always have it with them. They never have to remember what the Wi-Fi code is or what the gate code is. They've got it with them in their phone. And as soon as they check out and are checked out of CampWorks, whether they do it through the app or whether they do it through the just checking out, in the office, it removes their rights to be able to look at that. So essentially, this will go away. They won't be able to access it. It'll say it's only available while they're checked in. So those are some pretty cool functions for the guest to be able to have a level of hospitality that most guests probably will never have experienced before. The last key area that I want to show you is really where we're headed next. So pretty much everything you've seen will be in the current, or the version of the first version that we are about to release. But we have some future capability that I want to give you a preview of, at least what we're planning. And there will be secure logins for management and staff. And management, for example, will be able to view a dashboard that shows all of the days or months transactions summary. For example, how much money did we make today, how much do we have in sales, how many check-ins, how many check-outs, how many cancellations, how many new reservations, those kind of metrics. So basically, for absentee owners or managers that are not working on the date, not at the software, want to look at it on their phone, they'd have that ability. Staff scheduling, we want to enable the ability for you to set up your staff schedules, and then also to create staff task lists. Things like bathrooms being cleaned, housekeeping, repairs that need to be done, grass mowed, those kind of things. You'd be able to set up those task lists, and then in the staff side, where staff logs in, they would be able to view their work schedules, view task lists, and check off tasks as they're being completed. Housekeeping, showing cabins that are done, check them off as they're done, and that will automatically modify or edit the software settings so that the software knows, so the desktop software in your office knows which ones are ready. New check-in and new payment. This is the ability to remotely check someone in, so using their phone out in the driveway, let's say if there's a lineup of cars and they're helping people get checked in, they can get them checked in and get them off to their site without them ever having to go to the office, just using their phone. Same thing, taking a payment. If it's not part of the check-in process, maybe it's accepting a payment out while they're bringing firewood or something to a guest. And then the last section is reading meters. For monthly electric meter reading, they can go around to each site, read the meetings, enter them in, and that will enter it directly into CampWorks in the desktop software, so that monthly statements are ready to be created. So those are just a few of the key areas that we plan to develop with the next generation, which would come later this year. And so we just wanted to give you a view of where we want to take this. There's other things that there's some capability in the current app for things like sending push notifications to guests in emergency. So let's say everybody that has the app, you'd be able to send notifications. Let's say there's a fire danger or a severe weather warning that you want to make sure everyone's aware of. So those are just a few examples. Those are things that we will fine-tune to be have improvements on as we move forward throughout the lifespan of the app. But just wanted to give you a heads up on some of the cool capabilities that are being built into the app. The sky's the limit. There's a whole lot of things that we can do with this, and this is just the beginning. So you're probably wondering, wow, that seems too complicated or difficult. Hopefully not, but in case you are, I want to show you how easy it is to edit your own content. So we give you a web-based editor that is what you use to edit your content. You log in, and basically you have the content list, which is the main screen you're going to use. You can go in and edit any content. So this is the main About Us. So here's the picture that we put in. You can add another text, photo, video, quotes, etc. Add your own picture, delete this one, put in a different one. Add new sections or chunks where basically you want a text section, and then you may want to add another section that's a photo, etc. You can just keep doing that, and then you hit publish. Really simple. If I go back to the content list, there are 3 main types of content. So this one was actually, this was the map that I was in, which was the map points. So if we look at that for a second, you can see it really just has an address and a picture is about all that's in that one. Now you could add more, but that's about all it takes. And then it automatically will set it to appear in the map. You can add action buttons and links by putting that information and say how do you want it to show up on the map. So that's pretty straightforward. The main one that you would use would be an article entry. So if I go to an article entry, and let's just pick this one about the Loose Line Trail. You give it a title, you put in the pictures that you want, click a thumbnail if you want it to be up top, put in the text that you want to show, and that's really about it. Put publish. And the last one I'll show you is an event. If I go back to the content list, let's do this one, which is a calendar event. It's got a date and a time, place, and again the design of what you want to show, whether it's a picture, text, additional pictures, etc. You put in what you want, it'll show up in calendar. You can have additional action items or action buttons like a phone, email, links, etc. So that's about it. Pretty straightforward, very easy to edit your content and publish, and you can have your very own app with just a few simple steps. To show you just how easy it is to use remote desktop, I am going to show you that you can log in from any PC. So all you have to do in any browser from any PC is type in remotedesktop.google.com. If you are it's a PC that you use regularly, you can have a shortcut already up here, like up here. But anyway, you log in. You just need to be logged into your Google account. And I've already been logged in, or was already logged in, so the screen comes up. This shows I have one PC I can connect to. It's called our CampWorks server. It shows that it's online. So all I have to do is click it. It takes it just a few seconds to open up. This is connecting to a PC back in Minnesota at our office. I am currently in Utah. All I have to do is enter then the PIN that was set up to make that connection, and now I am connected. I'm controlling this PC as if I were sitting at it in Minnesota. So I can open my grid, open a reservation, let's say, and so you can see it's pretty snappy. This, by the way, this PC is nothing special. This is not a server. We named it that, but it's really just probably about a 5 or 6 year old laptop sitting in our office that we have everything installed on that we can connect remotely, and it's doing web reservations for our demo. But it's pretty much that simple. Now I have the full capability of the software, but I'm running it remotely from another PC halfway across the country.